Today we're going to talk about two roles in sales and roles in marketing. And we are also going to talk about FMCG as a sector. So today we have very special guest with us, Mr. Vikram Dhawan, who has 9 years of experience. He has worked in great brands like HUL, Dabur, GSK. What makes you think that you should do an MBA after 9 years of workings? Why FMS and not IIMs?
FMS is a college where maximum number of dreams fulfilled per square inch. One thing that I have seen about FMS people is that if you want to get something happen on shop floor and you want a guy who wouldn't mind getting out of his corporate office and jump into a truck and go to shop floor and get the job done,
These are the guys.
you have to consider a PPO as a 2 months long interview.
So tell me, area sales manager करता क्या है?
I believe the question is that how make sure that sales happen in your area
Correct.
while you are not the one selling it, right? It's only ABCD of sales.
Okay.
If you remember ABCD, then you are going to remember sales. A is your attitude and ability of your team.
ठीक है.
B is your brand split and brand performance, like B's brand performance. C is your channel conflicts or channel performance. And D is your distribution.
मैं कहता हूँ sales बढ़ाने के दो ही तरीके हैं. Bring more customer or sell more to existing accounts.
Sell more, sell to more. Well, that's the one.
There is sales manager, there is area sales manager. What are the other roles in sales?
Sales cannot happen until there is a need. I cannot put a gun to your head and sell you something.
So Peter Drucker said that there are only two functions in a business. One marketing and another innovation, rest all are cost centers.
If there is one thing that the trade marketing knows better than anybody else in the entire system, that's price.
How much money performance marketer can make and how much money trade marketer can make?
Brand is the most expensive and the most valuable asset of any organization. People, processes, products, no, it's the brand.
Welcome to another episode of Clarity with the Career Company. Today we're going to talk about two roles in sales and roles in marketing. And we are also going to talk about FMCG as a sector, and we're going to cover how these roles in sales and roles in marketing changes with the different sector. We're also going to cover if somebody is working in sales for so long, somebody is working in marketing for so long, how they can pivot. So today we have very special guest with us, Mr. Vikram Dhawan, who has 9 years of experience pre-MBA. It's a very different journey. He has worked in great brands like HUL, Dabur, GSK, and worked in sales to start with, then moved to marketing, worked as a brand manager. And we also going to talk about his story and his journey from FMS to different companies. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Sure. So, Vikramji, why don't you start with your story, how you started, and after 9 years of working experience in SBI and different brands, why you think of an MBA at first place?
My bike had a collision with a truck and it promptly broke into two parts. And I was thrown aside, escaped miraculously with only a few injuries. But that was the day when I actually realized in my bones that I can die. My journey can end. Before 2007, I was a product of government schools, government colleges in a tier 2 city in pre-internet era. So I was a frustrated, angry youth, if I can put it this way. But I didn't know what I actually wanted. And it had led to a lot of frustration in me, which I see a lot of youngsters even now happening because they don't know what they want to achieve and then they get, frustrated. After that, I thought, okay, if I can die, so it can happen any given day. So on that day, I was reading a book, Who Will Cry When You Die by Mr. Robin Sharma. And inspired by that book, I made a list of 10 achievements
That you want to do?
that I'm going to do before I meet Lady Death again. And at that time, they were the most ambitious things that I could have imagined. In those 9 years, I focused majorly upon how much I can achieve, how much I can learn. It was all about, self-fulfillment, personal goals, which is, I believe, a very important stage in every professional's life. The third part of my journey is more about how I'm going to have an impact on the world, or more simply, how I can leave things better than when I found them. For good or for bad, my life or my life journey is now as a commercial manager. So after FMS, my entire endeavor is about how to be a complete commercial manager, and that's the theme of my professional life now. So long story short, as this on this career ladder, we have actually put it on this way. Um, this is the way I would subdivide my career.
Great. So before that, we have to explain this ladder also.
This level is called
War room.
the war room. This is the managerial level where you are making decisions. It is still day to day, but it is one step above where you are allocating resources, you are doing all the managerial
Numbers and
decision makings,
strategy. Yeah.
more numbers, part strategy, but mostly tactics.
Tactics.
This is
Lighthouse.
the lighthouse. It is a discussion where we are discussing a little bit long term view of management, maybe signals,
Direction.
a little bit of strategy, a
Yeah.
little bit of long term, what you should do in maybe 1 or 2 or 3 year or 4 year of time. And this is the mountaintop.
Yeah.
By mountaintop, I means that it is the highest 10,000, 20,000 feet discussion we can have, where we are discussing the actual meaning of a word, a little bit philosophical. So these are the 4 levels.
So you said that you worked in SBI for 5.5 years, and then with 9 years of experience, at the age of 29, you decided to go for an FMS. You got into FMS. Tell me the journey. Why FMS and not IMs?
I converted a couple of other IMs with FMS. One thing is that
Were they first generation, of course?
yes, first generation.
Okay.
So the thing is that one thing is that FMS was always my dream college. Second thing is that uh, the return on investment in FMS is
Crazy.
crazy. And at the end of the day, I'm a banker. I was a banker at heart
Yeah.
at that time. So I crunched the numbers, and the balance sheet came out way in favor of FMS than anybody else. And third thing is it was nearer to home also. I am always a proponent of this belief that the constraint of learning lied at myself. I would never be arrogant to say that okay, I wanted to be part of IIM A, IIM B, IIM C or FMS. All are equally good. All these institutions can give me knowledge. They are wells of knowledge way beyond my capacity to drink.
Correct.
Right? So I was never arrogant that okay, why should I choose between FMS A, B, C and all that. All these will provide me equal kind of opportunities. All these provide me equal kind of learnings. It's the constraint on my side, and it makes more financial sense, so go with it. So that was one thing.
And what is special about FMS students that you realize after working, after graduating from FMS and seeing the corporate world for so many years?
So in FMS, we have a saying about FMS. Like we romantically say that FMS is a college where maximum number of dreams fulfilled per square inch.
Okay.
The term we use is square inch. We don't even use square feet or square mile, by the way. Uh, and this line is very true. Why? Because the infrastructure of FMS, the college per se, is very limited. It's part of university, so you have all the amenities. You can basically have, the Delhi University at your exposure at that time. But FMS is, the building is small. It means that FMS gives you one advantage of scarcity, right? A, because it is truly student run. Like if I have to buy a chair, a student will decide we have to buy a chair. And without divulging a lot of information, I would say that FMS people absorb by osmosis a skill to stretch 1 rupee as far as it would go. Right? Because our budget is very limited, and we have to deliver the same kind of output, same kind of learning, same kind of placements. Everything else is at par with the best of the colleges, right? So what do you actually learn is the value of community. You actually learn how to get things done without money or with very little money. You actually get to learn how to be more efficient and gets your hand dirty. So the one thing that I can, of course, all colleges are great, and all people are Um, I don't believe that the earlier branding can be made at that way. But one thing that I have seen about FMS people is that if you want to get something happen on shop floor, and you'd want a guy who wouldn't mind getting out of his corporate office and jump into a truck and go to shop floor and get the job done,
These are the guys.
FMS are the guy. Because that's somewhere we have no ego about ourselves, right? Because that's how everything gets happened in FMS.
But corporate love this kind of people. Even now you are starting something of your own. I run my own venture.
Yeah.
We value those people who just don't be consultant in a service company or a product company saying ye kar do wo kar do. I want them to lead the way. We want them to do that, right? Recently, I was talking to one of our mentor and a recruiter who has just completed interviews in Blackie, a first generation IM, and also in a second gen IM. We are talking about PGBX program, and I said that you conducted interviews at both places and you picked two people from each. What is your idea about what is the difference? He said, and that's a purely personal views, and therefore I'm not talking about the company or a college as well. They said the first gen IM people were more of sitting and saying that this is what needs to be done, this is what needs to be done, this is can be done, and the second gen guy is was little forward coming and say that ye kar dunga, wo kar dunga, ye kar dunga, and I like that, right? So you got a PPO, and you said you were the only in that batch of 2018, right?
Yes.
17, 18, 16, 18. You were the only one with the highest amount of work-ex?
I believe there were a couple of people
with 9 years of work-ex?
But they were also oddities. But at the end of the day, I was the only guy I have ever heard of who cracked an FMCG summer intern interview after 9 years of work-ex and then ended up getting a PPO. So both of that.
Lovely. So did you had a clarity by the time you appeared for summer that what you want to do in summer internship?
For me, because I already have a lot of experience and I already had a lot of rich experience, if I can put it that way, in SBI and IMS, my goal with summer internship was that I am going to explore. So the entire goal was that I am going to get into something which is absolutely alien to whatever I already know.
Correct.
Right?
Then only it makes sense.
Then it makes sense. And fortunately, GSK gave me the opportunity and I was very happy to go because for a erstwhile State Bank of India branch manager who has a certain, way of working things, I actually had, this thrilling experience of going into a shop and taking an order and, actually, roaming around.
No, we'll come to it. So you got picked into GSK, and what was the function that you got placed into for summer internship?
Sales.
So
the idea was that it was sales and marketing combination. You in summer internships you get a project to work
Correct.
on. My project was to work upon the oral care journey in rural Bihar uh, with the context of Sensodyne. So I had to understand what are the oral hygiene, how deep rural India understands.
And Sensodyne in 2018 had just a new entrance in the market.
Not exactly new, but it was still at a growth stage, which is growing. But it was already a superstar by that time.
Okay.
So the thing is that I went to rural Bihar and such a rural, such what you can say, an extreme rural, that one day while doing my Reiki and my whatever work I was doing, I walked into Nepal. Right. So that actually happened. I actually have some image sitting me down because I actually was going on a bike and taking some whatever my project was, and I accidentally walked into Nepal. So I'm the only guy in the batch to have an international exposure as a summer internship too. But yeah, so that was the case.
So summer internship, we have also a program called Summer Internship Excellence where we help students in how to get PPO. And you got the PPO from GSK. So how many students were competing for how many posts? How many of them converted? What was the percentage?
I don't exactly remember, but I believe that fair amount of them didn't get the PPO. So it is
25%, 30%,
approximately that much. I'm not remembering it exactly, but yeah.
What are they looking for?
Okay, so you have to consider, at least my mindset is that you have to consider a PPO as a 2 months long interview.
Correct.
Right? It's not something that you are going there with pure way of learning, Because at the end of the day, learning is going to happen. You're going to work in that organization, learning is
वो
going
तो
to
होना ही
happen.
है.
The thing is that every organization is looking for a culture fit, especially with respect to attitudes, right? So if it is a hustle culture company, can you hustle? If it is a systematic company, are you systematic? If it's a deep down company, are you a deep down kind of guy? If it is
Execution first company.
execution first company, it is a people first company, whatever it is there, right? Of course, everybody wants at the end of the number on the boards, but every company has their unique culture and they are looking whether you are a
They
culture
fit
fit
or
or
not.
not. And this is also an opportunity for you to understand whether you are a culture
Their
fit for
culture.
that
Yeah, it's a
company.
two-way street.
It's a two-way street. And by the way, for the record, I love GSK so much that it has changed entire career journey of mine. I took a hit on my, whatever. If I would have gone into a bank, I would have a lateral placement much, much higher and everything. But I loved the culture, the problem statement they are solving, the people so much that I ended up in FMCG. Uh, I stand by that decision. But the point is this, that what most people do wrong, uh, they think that there is any room to be passive. There is not. You have 2 months, it means you have 60 days. If you waste your first 5 days, you have wasted, first 6 days, first week, you have already wasted.
1 out of
10%.
8 week.
So 10% of your time is gone. So you have only 90% of the time to cover 10% of it. So, and you have to also have to understand that the mentor that the company has assigned you probably is very experienced. That's why he's mentoring. He's also super busy, and he also your mentorship is actually doesn't fit exactly into his KPI. So actually he has to deliver business results. So it is your job to run around.
Correct.
It is not his job to come and teach you something. This is not college. You are getting paid for an internship. So they will give you some slack because they know that you are a fresher and you don't know anything about it. But it's your job to, wait upon people. It is your job to ask. It is your job to run around. It is your job to actually, absorb as much as by osmosis if possible. And one thing that I would suggest everybody who is actually gunning for PPO, your first week is the most crucial one. Get a time with your mentor. Most importantly, understand what your deliverables are.
Correct.
Because at that time, pretty much everything is in flux. Keep asking questions, because the worst thing that you can do in a PPO or in a summer internship is to deliver a project that was not asked for.
You didn't understand the mandate.
Yes, you didn't understand. If you get these three things right, then you are fine. And okay.
Yeah, please.
And one of the best things that I did, my mentor, Mr. Jitinder Singh, hell of a guy. Like, I ended up pestering him in the first week. So he was actually on a field visit, market visit done that first week. He was supposed to come back and give me, and I said, no, sir, please give me something, please. I'm worried and all that. He actually called me to the field while he was working in West Bengal at that time. I ended up working 3 days with him. And those 3 days when he was actually on the ground executing stuff, mentoring people, all that, those 3 days were the most,
the learning happened, the highest amount of learning happened.
And that set, at that time I was clear that okay, this is
yehi karna hai.
Ye karna hai, this is the thing, and I actually started loving it. And if I would have been slacked off at that day, that would have been gone.
Correct.
Right? So that's something that, go for it.
We have been hiring summer interns, and I see two type of people that comes, and as in when we grow we will find more, but as of now two. One kind of people are saying ki ye ho gaya sir, next sir give me more, I can do it in 3 hours, give me more, because उसे समझ आता है कि I'm a fresher, all I have is a summer internship and I have to go about it, and he knows कि इसकी 10 बार follow up करेंगे तो एक meeting देगा ये आदमी, right? Because that's how it gonna work. But they understand the game very very fast and they keep following up. Sometimes you get frustrated, but you also understand they are doing the job. Second type of people are the first type of people work with everyone, ask everyone what are they doing, how things work, how org work, सब कुछ समझते हैं. Second type of people, they knock your door, you say I'm busy, they again knock your door, you say I'm busy. Third time they see कि इसके पास time नहीं है, and then they start relaxing. They chill for 2 months. Companies, as you rightly said, it's not their mandate to give you work, it's your mandate to take a work. And sometimes, most of the time, summer internship happens at very structural level at HR and leadership, but at ground level people don't care. so they don't run after those folks, and at the end they tell the mandate. And sometimes, so I'll give you one example. One lady was working in a marketing and with one of the company, and I asked, what is your mandate, what is the target? So he said, to increase a follower in Instagram and social media. So I said, by what percent? What is your current number? What are you aiming for? Sir, founder ने ये नहीं बताया. I say, it is your job. Can you not define that? That when I join number is this, I will take it in 3 weeks, I'll take it to this, we'll have a review. If that doesn't work, we'll take it, we'll change the strategy, we'll take it to this. By the end of summer internship, I can take you to the 125K in LinkedIn, 125K on Insta, whatever it is. So define goals, and that's how you get PPO. Because how proactive you are, how and one mistake that people make in, and we have seen so many times, is that they don't ask for help.
They don't ask for resources also.
They don't ask for resources also. The people sitting next to them have done and failed it 5 times before they even started working on this project. They don't ask.
Exactly.
Right. So very interesting. There was a story of IMA that one guy, very famous, you may guess the name. He got an internship. The whole internship project was to get, there was a French machine and he needs to get repaired from a deal with a French and get it repaired. So वो कर रहा था, delegation कर रहा था. That was the IMA summer intern, and the machine was very costly, so the repair works was costing around 2 crore, and therefore they thought of taking one summer intern. Now तो जो shop floor पे था, तो shop floor one guy had a wedding of her daughter, and he went into wedding, everything happened, then they set for a party. तो शाम को पार्टी पे बैठे वो वर्कर्स के साथ गया, 4 बजे तक वो बंदे ने दारू पी के अपनी कहानी सुनाई कि कैसे मैंने मेरी बेटी की शादी करी, कैसे मैंने डाउरी अरेंज करी, कैसे इतना सारा झमेला हुआ. वो सब सुनता रहा, 4 बजे घर जाके सो गया. नेक्स्ट डे जब वो ऑफिस आया, मशीन रिपेयर हो गई थी. उसने बोला, माय एंटायर समर इंटर्नशिप वाज टू गेट इट रिपेयर्ड, नाउ मशीन इज रिपेयर्ड बाय itself. What has happened? And the workers say that, साहब हमें तो पता ही था ये मशीन कैसे रिपेयर करता है, हमें इनके लिए नहीं करना था. आपने 4 बजे तक हमारी कहानियां सुनी, हमने आपके लिए कर दिया. The point is, if you build relationship in your summer internship, you can't imagine what can be done.
That's there, and the thing is that it's also one of the very rare time in a corporate life where you can actually explore everything, and you are given a free rein.
Correct.
To explore everything, and people are busy, but they actually they try to teach you as much as possible, right? Because
there is no intent problem.
There is no intent problem. There is nothing, and it's all about, if you are in the right place and if you are in the right mindset, it actually feels like you are in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and there is so many things to actually sample.
Small girl in a candy shop.
Small girl in a candy shop, that kind of thing. So it's a good feeling.
Correct. So after summer internship, you got a PPO and you started as area sales manager. Lot of IM folks and other B schools guys also start in FMCG, FMCD as area sales manager. So tell me, area sales manager करता क्या है?
Okay. So in FMCG, there are various channels, and usually if you are an area sales manager, you will work for one of the channels. By channel, I mean the way of the product reaches to the consumer. One can be your e-commerce, like where you are
general trade, modern trade.
So e-commerce is your Amazon, Flipkart, and the quick commerce is also incorporated into that, your Blinkit, all these. The second thing is your modern trade, your D-Mart, your Modern Bazaar, your all these Reliance Smart and all that. The third part is institutional, which is usually B2B segments that happen. The fourth part and the largest part, usually where most of them get absorbed, is GT. It is called general trade. It means that your kirana shop, your chemist shop, all these kind of things. So how this general trade works is, you have a company, a manufacturing house. The company sells something to a super distributor or a distributor. That distributor purchases the stock from the company. He actually bears the risk of stocks. He actually deploys sometimes manpower also, supply of the products, market credit, everything is done by him. Then you will have a lot of distributors in a particular area. So you subdivide the territories. Every single territory will have a territory head, which how big or small it is, that's on their seniority level. And every territory head will have some ground level salesmen. So there are ground level salesmen that are actually
Going to the shops.
going to the shops and selling the product on behalf of distributor, if you can put it that way. Then those salesmen are managed by a territory
TSI.
TSI, depending upon how many distributors handle. Usually it is multiple, more than one. That TSI reports to you. So you are actually 3 steps removed from the actual sales transaction that is happening. So this is where you sit. 100 people plus reporting to you over the 2 hierarchies is a normal stuff. 100 plus people used to report to me. So area sales manager is a guy who actually is responsible for delivering the numbers, the top line, the range selling, whatever sales regarding activities that happen. It is his job that that thing gets executed in his area.
Okay, so lot of transaction. I mean, lakhs of transaction happens in a day because there are at least say how many 100 general trade stores, 5 modern trade
So
stores.
10,000, 20,000 stores is not a very big problem for a GT area sales manager. Yes.
20,000 is you said?
I had more than 20,000.
20,000 stores में बहुत सारे transaction हो रहा है.
That, yeah.
How do you take a track of it, and how do you what are the signals you sense? How you make decisions?
Okay, so I believe the question is that how you actually make sure that sales happen in your area.
Correct.
While you are not the one selling it, right? So I will put it on this managerial level, right? So on this managerial level, as a manager, if you are area sales manager, it's pretty simple. It's only ABCD of sales.
Okay.
If you remember ABCD, then you are going to remember sales in FMCG. A is your attitude and ability of your team.
ठीक है.
B is your brand split and brand performance, like B's brand performance. C is your channel conflicts or channel performance. And D is your distribution. By A, I mean that, imagine that, the sale is not happening or there is some issue in you are not hitting your numbers or the trend line is not going right? So first of all, what will you see? That all my team members are performing equally well or equally bad, or something, there is a pocket of excellence and then there's something, somebody is struggling, right? So if somebody is struggling and everybody else is not, your first port of call should be, you have to understand what is happening in this person's life, what is happening in this person's team, whether it is a new guy who needs your mentorship, it is an old guy who is suffering, maybe there is some problem in his family, maybe something has happened. So you are a leader, a mentor, anything that requires to be there in order to make sure that your team is equally equipped, is trained and is able to deliver the task, as well as he's motivated and has the attitude to deliver the task, right? So whatever is there, you are as the pure team manager down there. That's why we say that sales has a huge element of
managing people.
So this is where you are. Here you are mentor, you are manager, you are performance reviewer, you are everybody.
Correct. So उसको किसी एक one sales guy told me कि sales में बच्चे संभालना आना चाहिए. ऐसा explain. So he said प्रेशर भी करना है नंबर का, लेकिन उसे संभाल भी लेना है. तो जिन्हें बच्चे संभालना आता है वो सेल्स कर जाएगा.
हाँ, so उसमें once you get this right and you have a stable team, then sales is one of the best things out there.
Correct.
Right?
Life is fun.
Second thing is that if your team is performing, equally bad, if you can put it that way, if you say that okay, the team is not an issue, then you have to see that is something happened to any brand, SKU, or any product that you have currently that it used to fire but it is not firing. Right? Now, how would you identify that? You identify it through trend lines, you identify it through SKUs, you identify it through what was selling in what geography, but it is not now. So basically, you have a deep down data analysis that this brand was working, now it is not. Right? Most of the time, it is related to operations, it is related to market credit, it is related to something that has happened in your area. Here, you also coordinate with your brand team, your trade marketing team in order to get the support. Because if a brand is not performing, you might need to put some additional advertisement, you might need to put some additional promotions, anything. So in order to get that brand health up. So you are also custodian of that in your area. But imagine that that thing is also on track. Third thing, and very tactical thing now, is I'm going, below tech. Now this is this part of it. Now, channel conflicts, because different channels have different costs associated with it. Distribution and transportation costs of GT would be much higher than
E-commerce.
e-commerce or modern trade. So uh, the pricing also by companies is a little bit different. So you have to understand
Which channel
that
is not working?
which channel is not working. Is there any channel infiltration? Is there is some thing has changed? It's entirely possible that your demographic has changed. People are not moving to e-commerce, and no, something is happening, right?
Correct.
So you have to check for that,
Hmm.
that all of your channels are healthy and firing well.
Hmm.
After that,
Distribution.
Distribution means that if my product was going to say 10,000 shops, now it is going to 9,000 shops. It is evident that I'm going to lose 10% of my sales.
Hmm.
How to go make sure that it goes to 10,000 shops again is a job, right?
Correct.
It means that I have to not only look for a journal sense, that how many shops actually buy any product of me, which is called effective coverage, but it also means that how many SKUs I sell to a particular shop, which
Penetration
is called
क्या
depth.
है?
Yes, that's width of my distribution, then there's the depth of my distribution. And can I sell more products to the same shop, because I can, this particular shop is getting various kind of buyers. So if I'm selling him say product XY, can I also sell him product Y? What will be the appropriate product to sell to that guy? Not never an inappropriate product, because you have to have the product and customer fit. But how many product customer fits I can find in order to make sure that I have range selling also.
Hmm.
On very very technical term, if we are going there, if we are talking about distribution, and now it has turned into a sales class per se, managing distributor is part of your distribution.
Hmm.
To assess the health of the distributor, the distribution partner that you have, is very very important. It is a learned skill. So you also divide it by 4 metrics, which is triple IE, I call it, right? So the guy has to have investment, because a lot of money is required to store the products.
Correct.
Actually give market credit, have all these kind of things. If the guy doesn't have investment, if it doesn't have money, then your business is not going to run healthy. So investment. The second one is intent, which is very important, because imagine a distributor does an annual a monthly sale of say 1 crore rupees. He is distributing product of multiple companies. That how he achieves what you can say efficiencies. But your company is selling only 10% of that. So of course he's going to focus upon 90% of the portfolio and not going to perform. So you also have to see that your business is significant enough for him to actually work upon your business. So that's the intent. Third thing is your infrastructure, because a lot of physical infrastructure is required in FMCG. Driver vans, the people who will go take the orders, the people who will take the kurahi, the recoveries there, people who are going to sort the expired stock and non-expired stock, stacking, loading, unloading. A lot of things happen. If he has the infrastructure, because if he doesn't have the infrastructure, it is going to limit your growth in that area. And the fourth is experience, because every geography is different. Experienced distributors know that how a beat can be designed, what are the timings my loading should happen, unloading should happen. So that if you have got these 4 things right, your distribution will get sorted. And if you have this ABCD sorted,
You are a good ASM.
yeah, you're through.
मैं कहता हूँ सेल्स बढ़ाने के 2 ही तरीके हैं.
Hmm.
सेल मोर, ब्रिंग मोर कस्टमर, और सेल मोर टू एक्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर.
Sell more, sell to more. That's the only thing.
कोई तीसरा तरीका ही नहीं है.
Yes.
Very rightly said. So you worked as a ASM for how many years?
I believe around less than 2 years. I believe.
Less than 2 years. What next?
So the thing is that I had sold through the streets, and now, as I told you that I want to be a more complete commercial manager, I thought that the best thing would be to learn how to sell through screens. So I shifted to Dabur, because from GSK to HUL the transition already happened. I shifted to Dabur as an e-commerce shopper marketing guy. My mandate there was to increase market share or increase top line profitably while keeping the bottom line intact. So there I learned all about how to how this e-commerce thing works. And the whole ecosystem. And I was very lucky because at that point, actually the quick commerce was coming up, the model was being generated. So I've actually seen the dawn of e-commerce, how it has impacted the grocery e-commerce shops, and how it has,
2021, 22 we are talking
yeah,
about.
that kind of thing. So actually this gave me a learning, because the things were in flux at that time.
Best time to be in e-commerce.
It was best of time, it was worst of time, you could, whatever you can say, right? So the thing is that after that I was got fascinated with the product side of it, how actually the marketing happens, how the product is made from end to end. I was fortunate enough to be an senior brand manager in Dabur. I shifted there, worked for around 2 years there. So yeah, that completed the loop of FMCG, if you can put it that way.
Correct. So brand manager. So you moved from sales to marketing. A transition happened from area sales manager to e-commerce category, and then move to brand management. So there are different roles in sales. One is territory. Talking specifically about FMCG, so there is a territory sales manager. There is a area sales manager. What are the other roles in sales?
Okay, so you can look it at as a complete demand fulfillment function, if I can put it that way. So one is your hierarchy from the larger areas, smaller territory, then area,
Then region,
then
and then
then how part of a region, then national, all that, world and all that. So this is like one part.
hmm
We are managing more and bigger area sets. Then there are channels, if I can put it that way. You are managing GT, you are managing MT, you are managing e-commerce, that kind of stuff happens. Afterwards, then there are a lot of sales support functions are already there. There are complete MIS function that happens, that gives you data support. Then there are trade marketing functions that actually help you decide, or actually decides the inputs that are going inside your trade, in order to smooth functioning, and to have a kind of buy-in from your distributors and your retailers. Then there is actually an excellence function, which actually deals with training and development of your sales function and their capabilities. Then there is entire a complete ecosystem of, sometimes the people who actually do on point of sales marketing for you. So basically there is a regional marketing function also there, which helps you into the on ground promotions, on ground marketing, all that.
correct.
So these roles are majorly associated with, I would say, sales and demand fulfillment function down there.
For sales to happen,
And of
demand
course, yeah,
fulfillment.
and
Yeah.
then you will have very close relationship with operation guys who are actually delivering your products, all that kind of thing. Finance, because they will be after your life regarding all the claims and everything. um, After this, then comes a complete function of demand capture, if I can put it that way. Here the roles are more about customer insights, more about shopper insights, more about trade insights, more about actually mapping how the trajectories was there and how it is going to look, very, very quantitatively, if I can put it that way. So that you also know that how you can map the demand, how you can actually plan the area. So this is one function. Then comes the demand generation side and the product side of it, which is, as we call, marketing.
Marketing. Yeah. So that's where the line get blurred. Sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Say you need sales if your marketing fails, and if you need marketing if your product fails. That's what Naval said. It's a very high top level
Okay,
idea.
so let's put it.
Let's talk at
Let's put
philosophy.
it here only. Yeah.
Correct. So, so product comes first. ChatGPT, nobody told you about, but you figured out ChatGPT somewhere, and you start using. The product is so good that it doesn't need penny to spend on marketing. Then comes a marketing. You spend a lot of money. So, customer को the store पे लाना marketing करता है, and फिर बेचना sales करता है, is what large understanding is. But demand creation, how do you see sales and marketing? Are they two different functions do you see, or a one function working together?
Okay. So, I'm going to make a very controversial statement here. The sales is a subset of marketing,
Hmm.
right?
Marketing is a larger function which has sales in it, is what you're saying.
Yes. If we want to look a complete, organization as a body, if I can put it that way, sales would be the heart of it. If it stops beating, everything else stops.
Correct. Pump the
Yeah,
blood.
it's oxygen at the most raw level, right? But to come at the more quantitative level, The easier form of understanding is that looking at, the the pyramid or the value chain, if I can put it that way. Yeah, I'm forgetting to look at the funnel, the
Hmm.
marketing funnel, right? How does it happen? You have some traffic, the people who are milling around.
Correct.
Then you have some impressions, you make them aware. Then some of them gets interested.
Lead form.
Then they have some consideration whether they are thinking about buying your product,
Yeah.
right? Then they actually buy your product and then they repeat and advocacy.
Correct.
Right? The function of sales is take people who are considering your product into buying
Conversion.
your product.
Correct. Lead
This-
to
So
convert.
this in this absolute funnel, the most critical part is actually taking a person who is just thinking about your buying your product into actually to a point where the money exchange happens. Right?
Correct.
If this function fails, if this one part fails, everything else is
Collapsing.
everything else will collapse. But if this function functions well, then
Sales will happen.
sales will happen. The only thing is that, as I told you, that I consider sales as, a cost function, right? So the more efficient way of transacting your products to money or revenue, if I can put it that way, it will be more efficient if your marketing is done right.
Correct.
Right? So an extremely good salesman can sell anything. But if your marketing is right, your product is right, the product
वो retain होगा.
The market, it will be easier.
It will be easier and it will be right, appropriate fitment, retention, less service.
For that, I believe that for this one statement, I go there, right? I believe that sales cannot happen until there is a need.
There is a need, absolutely.
Right? I cannot put a gun to your head and sell you something.
And if you can do that, but वो सेल नहीं है, वो
I don't consider that. That's robbery basically, मोटा मोटी.
हाँ,
So
वो बाद में सर्विस को इतना ही लोड लेना पड़ेगा.
So the thing is that if I believe that proper sales can only happen when there is a perceived gap of value in your life and there is a product that fills that gap in your life. Simple.
And buyer believes that.
Yeah, this is a perception, of course. How the product will perform, and as you know, there is a adage that price is what you pay now, for sure. Value is you might get in the future.
Correct.
Right? So that's the risk is always there with the buyer, right? But the concept is that you cannot sell anything which does not have a perceived requirement or need. Right? But how efficiently that transaction will happen depends upon the marketing. So you might need a top level sales guy to sell a poor product fit or with a poor marketing.
Correct.
But you will require an average guy to sell a good product. And you will require, as you have said, almost no guy to
Great
sell
products.
Something which is, you don't require anybody to sell you.
Google, Gmail पे account क्यों बनाया आपने?
No, these are free. So I don't consider Google per se as a product. If I can say that when it comes to as a consumer in our life, I consider marketing and sales where money is exchanging. Like that's the boundary that I have drawn around it to make my life more rational. So anywhere where there is a monetary transaction or anywhere there is an exchange of value between you and me, we are in the market for something, right? So when something like this is happening, I consider that the more efficient you are with your marketing, the more effective you are with marketing, the easier and the more efficient sales can become, right? And there is a quantitative coming here. There is a quantitative numbers rationale to it. If you have a good product, you can charge higher prices, have lower discount, have lower trade discounts, and even then be more profitable for anybody else because, as I told,
product is too good.
Margin into rotation. So you can give everybody less margins, but simply because
the rotation is
higher, everybody will end up making more money, as well as your company will, of course, make more money. So the thing is that if you are, and that's why I believe that it is absolutely essential to have sales experience to be a good marketer. Because
Correct.
if you do not have appreciation of the resistance of the problems,
Consumer psychology नहीं पता ना आपको.
you consumer psychology, I still believe that you can, do
You
with,
can read.
you can read, you can actually go to homes and all that.
Hmm.
But if you do not have the appreciation and in-depth understanding of how sales is happening, you will end up making plans that will fail at that point.
Correct.
Right? And if they fail at that point, no matter how flashy everything is, sales is not happening. That's the truth of the pie, right? So I believe, because marketing can burn n number of money, right? And the results come after 6 months.
Correct.
The most dangerous thing is to have a marketing plan made in vacuum with disregard to what sales you're going to do. What are your sales reality? What is your distribution reality? If you have got that one thing right, then
Everything is aligned.
yeah, you will end up making less mistakes. So I have deep respect for people who have chosen sales first and then go for marketing, and I believe that most of the FMCG,
That's how trajectory
that
works.
trajectory works.
So Peter Drucker said that there are only two functions in a business.
Hmm.
One marketing and another innovation, rest all are cost centers.
Okay.
When I heard this for the first time, mind-boggling statement. What are you saying? But that's absolutely correct, right?
Yes.
The great products, then great marketing, and then great sales. So uh, we say that there are different roles in marketing also. You talked about trade marketing is the closest friend of sales guys.
Yeah.
So trade marketing roles, people are not aware of what trade marketing means. करते क्या है वो?
Okay. So trade marketing or shopper marketing, of course, it is a very complicated segment. But if I have to boil down to the most distilled form of it, they are the custodian of price.
Hmm.
If there is one thing that the trade marketing knows better than anybody else
That's price.
in the entire system, that's price. It means that they are the people who actually obsess about numbers day in day out, that if I give 1 taka discount more, how much more sales will come. So what is your, what you can say, how much, um, what you can say, what should be the landed price to consumer, what should be the landed price to trade, what should be the landed price to distributor, how different channels are going to have this one function controls this thing. So we have learned 4 P's. Pricing
Is
is
what the
practically,
mandate of that
yeah,
guy.
they are the experts on that.
Okay, so you are saying, so does this hoarding, these are the headings come from different places, the promotion, the print media, how many promoters on the ground, all of this also comes under this guy?
It depends organization to organization. The thing is that it is easier to see any organization or all these sales and marketing function and subdivide into 3 parts. The first part is demand generation, the second part is demand capture, the third part is demand fulfillment. Every single function will have some spectrum of that.
Okay, it's
Right?
not that demand capture is the trade marketer's job. They'll have some pie of the demand
Yes,
creation
so your
also.
KPI will always have types, like even sales KPIs. Maybe 80% of your sales KPI is delivering numbers, but then there will be 10% of your KPI about the pricing you're running or the discounting you're running or a number of product, what you can say, how you are putting up your POSMs, how this planograms are being followed in order to have good visibility in the stores. So every single function will have some element of it. The point is that as an individual, your designation might be trade marketing manager, but it's entirely possible that you have additional responsibilities of on store visibility also, or it's entirely possible that they give you a data guy in order to make sure that you run pricing simulations to find out where you can save money. And marketing guys can do that, sales guys also do that. It's not like that I'm an area sales manager, I have no say about pricing and discounts. I actually run my own numbers, and then I have a discussion with trade marketing that okay, I want to run this.
This is
And
the
then,
discount you want to give. So we talked about one role of trade marketing. Another role is a performance marketing in e-commerce and quick commerce booming lot. Can you talk more about this role?
Okay, so performance marketing and trade marketing are somewhat of I would not say they are not interchangeable in my mind to that. Trade marketing means that, there is already a, trade infrastructure that you have. Maybe there are distributors, all that, right?
GTMT, yeah.
GTMT and all that. And this is how you manage what you can say, this is how you manage those trade, right? In order to make sure that the demand fulfillment happens efficiently.
Correct.
That's one thing. When it comes to performance marketing, it is a demand generation, more or less demand generation kind of thing, right? Why? Because here you are actually creating impressions, you are actually creating
100%. You're
conversions, clicks and all
bringing
that.
traffic.
And because it has become to more prominence recently, because now we are going through e-commerce and everything, and we have data available of the entire funnel, so that there is a independent performance marketing function that sees from impressions to that.
Click
But
through
it is
rate and all
so
of this.
it is the quantitative side of marketing, if I can
Correct.
put it that way.
Yeah.
Then there is a qualitative side of marketing, which is called brand marketing.
Performance marketer is sitting at any, not Zomato, any edtech company or any e-commerce company or any quick commerce company. They will see we are running ads, and running ads on the channels which can be LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, is the job of a performance marketing, that he's been given certain budget, and into that budget he has to get the leads, and leads is the outcome. Correct. How much money performance marketer can make and how much money trade marketer can make, you said there is a natural progression, but still.
So performance marketing and trade marketing, I consider them parallel functions. So they work in different
Because
ways.
one is more into print media, another is into digital media. Is that a correct understanding?
Trade usually does not deal too much in media, so they usually deal with whatever on ground promotions are happening. Trade marketing is usually a GT function, usually DT and everything.
Usually GT, therefore a print marketing comes.
Print point of sales marketing would be there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for the actual print marketing or above the line ATL media, usually it sits with the brand managers.
Okay.
But of course, it is always in consultations with everybody. So, but the point is that the performance marketing person is usually associated with your, either if you are a D2C brand or if you are holding an e-commerce channel, because there is a complete funnel. So performance marketing person is the person who actually optimizes this funnel for organization, right? We have to understand that theoretically the entire data is available all the time, but it is mostly not the case until unless you are working with something like Blinkit, or you are actually working in a platform like Amazon, where they have end-to-end data, right? If you are working in say HUL, or if you are working in say Dabur, or if you are working with any D2C, you have the data that platform gives you, and it is not always that they give you the entire funnel data, right?
They don't, is it?
They don't, because you don't know. See, no platform will ever tell you how much traffic is coming there. So you don't know actual traffic. So you might have impressions, you might have click-through rates, but you will not know that how many click-through rates will actually bought from you again, because then there is an attribution period. What is the attribution period? All that kind of things are there, right?
And all of these channels are now also asking for a payment for advertisement, right?
Yeah.
If you want
So
to be on a top of
most of the platforms have become more or less a shopping platform for the consumers. They are a sales platform as well as a media platform nowadays. So Amazon, I consider a partial media platform for me, because a lot of product discovery happens there.
correct, product discovery happens there. And then so we talked about now performance marketing, and then comes a brand manager. क्या करता है brand manager?
Brand manager, see, is somebody who actually have to wear multiple hats. So he, depending upon what the requirements of the brands are, right? If your brand is very very GT focused brand, it has GT stronghold, you might end up being an expert as a trade marketing manager also, because at the end of the day, that's where your business is coming from.
Correct. GT से GT है तो trade है.
हाँ, GT है तो trade है, on the point of the sales marketing है, how much basically you spend on what thing in order to get the maximum revenue, right? Second thing is that innovations usually happens
at brand level.
At brand level. So
तो सिटी में कहाँ पोस्टर लगेगा वो ब्रांड मैनेजर तय करता है.
There are usually media managers also. So see, brand manager is usually a guy who ties everything around.
Okay.
Right?
उसका मैंडेट क्या है? KPI क्या है उसके?
उसका KPI usually रहता है to maintain brand health. Right? It means that the top of the mind recall, the assisted recall, all these kind
How
of
do you
things.
measure that?
There are various industry reports available for that, right?
Industry reports.
Yes, you have to buy them, of course. There are brand track and everything, so you buy them. So most of the major brands are very, very focused upon it, because if your people, if your consumers do not remember who you are, if they do not consider you, if they do not remember your ads, they do not remember your slogans, they do not remember your value, they are not going to buy you. Something like that. So brand health is maintained on qualitative level and all that. He's the custodian of the brand. And by the way, brand is the most expensive and the most valuable asset of any organization.
Any day.
Any day.
Correct.
Anybody who says people, processes, products, no, it's the brand. Right?
What people think of you when they think of you for the first time is brand. Is that correct?
First time, second time, third time, whatever.
Correct.
So whatever associations that they have. Now we should go here.
Even one stage higher.
So we can go one stage higher also.
Yeah.
So what is actually the brand? Is something, the associations or the links that you have created between the neurons of your consumers. Right? So it's like the brand is legally owned by the company, but it is actually owned inside the mind of the consumers. You are only the custodians. The actual ownership of the brand lies inside the mind of your customers, your consumers. Right? You are just making sure to not, mess it up.
Yeah.
And to make it as strong as possible, to have valuable associations. So once your brand is evoked, right, the feelings, the rationals, the associations that you have are actually worth happening. And it aligns with whatever your product is, it aligns with, because see, if you are a brand manager of wheat, you would never be associated with beards or, a long hair or something like that, right? Wheat cannot have a shampoo, no matter how hard you try.
Correct.
Right? So this is the way. There are associations, there are boundaries of association. The brand managers understand this. Second thing, he's usually also the link between all the functions, because he has the maximum width of vision from the product when it is born, when it is produced, when it is distributed, when it is consumed, after consumption effects, how it is disposed of, everything the brand manager should know.
Interesting. So after brand manager, the natural extension or the flow of the conversation would go around marketing communication.
Okay, so
right. Let's go one down below brand, saying that brand manager ne तय कर लिया, if career company is a brand, our logo is in black and white, we want to bring clarity to the people's career, therefore nothing gray. Every communication that we do, if this diary, if you see, simple, below we have written personalized touch to professional journey. Now we say that take this podcast as a mentorship at scale. So every communication that goes out, we talk everything about career, but somebody designs and write this. And that is called Marcom guys, marketing communication guys. So let's talk more about that. So there are schools for that. There are a lot of B school graduates get into marketing communications, something very close to content. Which kind of personality thrive in this kind of role?
Okay, first of all, when I'm talking about brand manager, I am usually taking the more traditional sense of brand manager who has the ownership of both top line and P&L of the brand, right? So he's the end-to-end guy, mota moti on that. He has help, or he has, a lot of people who actually, gets the job done. I call them subject matter experts of a certain thing. So there are a lot of subject matter experts surrounded by him, right? One of the subject matter experts
is this guy,
right? It can be an agency,
largely an agency,
largely an agency. A lot of brands now, a lot of
in-house guys also, because it's a very creative role.
It is creative, but at the end of the day, let me put it this way, right? The defining feature of a brand, or the defining feature of a brand communication, is not what you do right, it's what you do wrong.
Very true.
Right? So the one defining feature is you confuse, you lose.
Any day. Correct.
Right? So bringing the clarity to the communication,
And consistency.
because brand can stand only for one thing. The communication is about how you communicate that one thing in 1,000 different ways,
Again and again.
again and again, in which is contextually relevant, which is relevant to the lives of your consumers,
And which appeal to your audience.
which appeals to your audience. More importantly, it makes positive associations.
Positive associations.
Right.
Correct.
So there is a case study of a famous beer brand. So they hired a celebrity which was an activist, trans activist, right? Now that is considered to be a blunder. Why? There is nothing right or wrong about it. But the entire thing is that once they put their brand next to a celebrity, which actually did not gel well with what this brand has historically stand for, a lot of their consumers got a bit miffed. Right? If every single brand, every single communication is going to bring some people into the house and then it is going to, alienate some people. If you are able to bring 100 people inside and only 5 leaves, it's a great campaign.
Yeah.
If 50 leaves and then only 10 new customer comes in, then it is a bad thing. So at the end of the day, no matter how creative it gets, the idea behind people who want to go into this communication side of field is about, it's not your efficacy and your effectiveness is not judged by how many things you can do, but how crystallized you are about the boundaries of the communication. Right? So if anybody who is very clear what a brand can and cannot communicate and then keeps on doing that, he's a talented guy.
Correct. Nike founder in his autobiography says that how do you define Nike? And he answered that if you are a runner, every day morning you run. There's a winter morning, there's a snow, still you wake up and run. And in a garden you are running and you get tired and तुम झुक जाते हो तो वहां मैं खड़ा हूँ and I am saying let's do it. That's Nike. That the when the swimmer is on the top, he's about to jump, but he got scared for a second, and look at his shoes, and look at his T-shirt, and there's a written, let's do it. So athlete brand, it's communicating very clearly, let's do it. But a lot of Indian brand nowadays and global brands are diversifying so much, and therefore they're unable to communicate the one message very clearly. Say Apple innovation. So very interesting. One guy told me that the introduction, the bigger introduction, the big people come and we give very long introduction, but the shorter your introduction, bigger the brand.
That it shows that how much work it has taken.
How many years of work you have given in one area that you become a synonym of one word. Gandhi, Ahimsa, Dhoni, cool, right? Kohli, class, whatever it comes. So that's a brand. Whatever comes first in your head with that name is.
And how strong that association is the only thing that matters. And it's a struggle for a lot of brand managers, a lot of communication managers, a lot of strategy guys, a lot of everything. Because see, once you say you stand for something, you are actually saying that you don't stand for anything else except this. So no branding, no messaging, nothing comes without sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's about how much and how efficiently and how ruthlessly you can sacrifice. Right? Then you say that this is not the place I will speak. I don't have, brands have terminologies like that. Right to speak. There is an area where I have right to speak. There is an area where I have right to win. Right? So the more laser focus my area of right to speak and right to win is, the better, the stronger association I can build. But it will also limit my time, total addressable market.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So once a lot of brands are actually trying to diversify, they are trying to increase their time. How this is done is like entirely, it is a complete
we can
strategy.
take 5 hour podcast
so
on that.
And I believe that there are much better experts at it than I am, but I have working knowledge of it. But the point is that this is always a trade-off. Stronger brand, lesser time. But if you have happen to hit a home run like innovation or search for Google, or you have actually found a mountain top that is fertile and vast, and you own it, nothing like
2 billion, yeah, correct. And now that AI coming, the market, the especially marketing communication role, because the ability to write, imagine you having an intern with 400 IQ is what we call ChatGPT, and it can write pretty well. You can ask him, you can make him read 4 books about uh, Socrates, and you ask him to behave like a Socrates and advise you like Socrates, does it really well.
Hmm.
What do you think will change forever in marketing communication specifically?
I think that it is more of an acceleration of the ongoing trend rather than changing. But yeah, it will be a very drastic trend. Like if we go 100 years back, right? All the masses were a single cohort.
Hmm.
Model T, you can have any color in a car you want unless it is a black.
Correct.
Right? That used to be the thing. Then segments happened. And those segments are becoming more and more, more and more fragmented, if I can put it that way. We are already at a place where we are at segment of one. So when it comes to chat GPT, marketeer's job actually does not decrease, it increases.
It increases because there's so much you can do.
And if there are 10 people, my earlier challenge was to give you a communication that all 10 people can understand and connect with. It had to be broad. It had to be like I had to crystallize my thinking a lot because I was unable to reach you out individually.
Now you can.
Now I can. It means my competitors can also.
Correct.
Right? It means that I have to be now more efficient and effective at reaching you than my competitors. And
Correct.
it means that reaching you not specifically at at an individual level, but temporally, where you are in your career right now, where you are in your
With lot of context
and
hyper personalization at scale.
hyper personalization at scale with the kind of granularity which boggles my mind.
Correct.
Right? I think that it's a genie that we have let out of the bottle, and I don't know where it is going to take us. So I'm a guy, I have a guy who has seen the progression of technology from pagers to AI now, right? And every single time it appears like the end of the world, but then something else pops up. So I believe that something else will pop up after AI also. But let's see.
I think how fast now you can learn, and how fast you can cope up with those things, because if you don't use it, you're out of the game. If you use it really well, it's the best way to get best out of AI is be a good human. Don't lose authenticity. And
okay, now for here, I would like to, if there were a level like here, I would go there, but there is no level like up there, so I'll go.
Very interesting conversation. Thank you for
Yeah, I hope
joining.
that this guy goes down like this because I actually don't. Yeah.
No, I mean, we thoroughly enjoyed. I'm sure our audience will get great amount of value. It was actually a masterclass on how sales FMCG works, how different roles in marketing, the trajectory, the growth journey from how where you start to what you can become, and how you look at things. So we took a different level and we discussed at different level. Thank you for accepting the invitation and came to all the way to Nagpur.
Thank you.
We are looking forward for more such conversations, and
It's my pleasure. It was a very good conversation. Yeah. Thank you.
great. Thank you.